Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first two nights of the NWA Crockett Cup. We have two amazing nights of professional wrestling here tonight, and we'll run through some of the matches that you will see in these two nights. The first of which is a match on night 2 between Ortiz and Keith Lee. The winner of this match will join the four-way that takes place in the main event of night 3 of the Crockett Cup. We will also see Shinsuke Nakamura take on Kota Ibushi, with once again the winner of this match entering the four-way main event of night 3 for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Also on night 2, we will see Kenzie Page challenge for the NWA World Women's Championship against the woman that beat her, Yuka Sakazaki. But this match will be a ladder match. Yuka Sakazaki won this championship at NWA Hard Times, and Kenzie Page is using her rematch clause, and this will be the main event of night 2. But the main event of night 1, the show we'll see first, is Dozer, who debuted at NWA Hard Times, formerly Otis in the WWE. He challenges Bishop Dyer for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Can Dozer walk into the main event of night 3 as the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, or will Bishop Dyer's reign continue into night 3? We'll find out this and more in the first two nights of the NWA Crockett Cup. So we open up with a couple of pre-show matches, the first of which being a 32 rated match, so not the best rated match, as it sees Mims and the Slimeballs defeat Carson Drake, Daisy Kill and Rolando Perez. Again, Carson Drake being the best in the match, getting a 32. Again, these 6, it's getting to the point where we are improving so much that these 6 may not be around for much longer. We have tried to push certain ones of them, mainly the Slimeballs, but they're just not improving in terms of their in-ring performances. So quite a few of these may not be seen again. But if we move to our next pre-show match, in a far better 6-woman tag team match, a 51 rated, the team of Natalia Markova, Mai Saruga and Casey Catanzaro defeat La Rosa Negra, Promise Braxton and Makoto in around about 8 minutes 45 seconds after Casey Catanzaro pins La Rosa Negra. Really good match here, really good performances all around. The 3 winning women getting over 50s, Makoto getting a 49, Braxton a 31, La Rosa Negra a 39. So a good match to close out the pre-show. But if we open up the main show starts with Mark Henry. He's in the ring and he's announcing the participants to the Crockett Cup. There are participants and their matches are as followed. We will see the former NWA World Tag Team Champions, Los Tranquillos, take on a team from All Japan Pro Wrestling, which is Hakuto Gun. It'll be Hakuto Omori and Kuma Arashi. We'll also see, again, former NWA World Tag Team Champions in the Diamonds in the Rough, being Jeremiah Plunkett and BK Westbrook this time. They'll take on a wildcard team that is debuting in NWA. No one knows who they are or where they're going to come from, but they're a wildcard team. Then we'll see Silas Mason and Max the Impaler of the Disciples of Sin against the former NWA United States Tag Team Champions in Dylan McKay and Sonico. And then finally, we'll see Mike Mondo and Onensu, who earned their spot by defeating EC3 and Trevor Murdoch against the team from Riot Lucha Libre, being Super Crazy and El Heel del Dr. Wagner Jr. So this is the bracket for the Crockett Cup, and these are the matches that we'll see tonight. And our first match of the Crockett Cup sees the team of Silas Mason and Max the Impaler defeat the team of Dylan McKay and Sonico. A good 8.5 minute match. Max the Impaler carried the match in terms of in-ring performance, getting a 61. Silas Mason still is slowed by the injury he suffered on NWA Power, still getting a 36, which is okay. But a good 51 rated match to start the NWA Crockett Cup. We then see EC3 and Trevor Murdoch backstage At night 3 of the Crockett Cup, they will be challenging Bojack and Marshall Kett for the NWA World Tag Team Championships in a street fight. EC3 said he's ready for anything that Bully Ray has to throw at him. But then Bully walks into their locker room. He tells them that it's not too late to back down from Bojack and Marshall Kett. Then Trevor Murdoch stands up. He says they're never going to back down and they'll walk out of the Crockett Cup as the new NWA World Tag Team Champions. Next we have RVD. He's backstage as well and he's providing an update on Colby Corino. As we know, he did sustain an injury on the last episodes of NWA Power. He did sustain a herniated spinal disc and he says that the doctors have evaluated him and it is the worst case scenario. Colby Corino will not be back in the NWA or won't be back in wrestling altogether until at least June of 2027. So Colby Corino is out for an entire year. But we then go to our second of our 4 NWA Crockett Cup matches tonight as the team of Los Tranquillos, that being Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi, defeat the debuting Hokuto Omori and Kuma Arashi. Both of these from All Japan Pro Wrestling. They are Hokuto Gun, but it is the former NWA World Tag Team Champions that do move on. In our next match, we see Chris Brooks get his first win in the NWA as he defeats Max Caster in about 10.5 minutes. A really good match here, a 55 rating. Chris Brooks getting a 61 rating, which is excellent for someone that is still considered unimportant here in the NWA. But it does mean this was the first qualifying match for the main event of night 3 for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And it does mean that Chris Brooks has earned himself an NWA World Heavyweight Championship opportunity after his first ever win in the NWA. In our third Crockett Cup match, we see Mike Mondo and Odinson defeat the team of El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr. and Super Crazy. Again, a good 45 rated match. Mike Mondo was still suffering an injury, which did mean he got a 39 in-ring performance. Odinson got a 48 and El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr. got a 56, so it does equal out to a 45 rated match. But Mondo and Odinson do progress in the Crockett Cup. We then have Weber Hatfield. He's walking backstage and he's looking for Matt Lee. As we remember on NWA Power, Matt Lee attacked Weber Hatfield and took the NWA World Television Championship from him. He finds Matt Lee in a locker room and they start to brawl. Weber Hatfield's clearly getting the better of Matt Lee until he throws referee Katie Vella in front of him. This gives Matt Lee an opportunity to escape and he manages to run to his car, leaving the arena altogether. These two will face off at night 3 of the Crockett Cup for the NWA World Television Championship, which is in the possession of Matt Lee, but Weber Hatfield is the rightful owner. Then, in our final first round match of the NWA Crockett Cup, the wildcard team of Alec Price and Starboy Charlie defeat the former NWA World Tag Team Champions in the Diamonds in the Rough. A really good 60 rated match here, and a really good performance from the new wildcard team in Alec Price and Starboy Charlie. Starboy Charlie getting a 53, Alec Price getting a 67. So huge ratings for the two debuting stars. And they move on to the semi-finals of the NWA Crockett Cup. We then see Kenzie Page backstage. She says that tomorrow night she'll be taking the NWA World Women's Championship back. She'll be the one to defeat Yuka Sakazaki in this ladder match, and she'll continue another historic reign with the NWA World Women's Championship. So in our main event of the evening, Bishop Dyer makes his 10th defense of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship as he defeats Dozer, but he had to use the ropes for leverage. A brilliant match here, a 65 rated match, and it does mean that Bishop Dyer is going into night 3 of the Crockett Cup, still the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. But the show is not over yet. Ortiz, who faces Keith Lee tomorrow, appears on the ramp and he says that he's going to beat Keith Lee. And once he's done that on Sunday night, he'll be coming for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and he promises that he'll be the one walking out as the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So this show does get a 60 overall rating. It increases our popularity in 38 regions. A really good first night of the Crockett Cup here. But for now, we are going to be moving on to the second night of the Crockett Cup, and then we'll see all the popularity changes, all the money we've made on the final second night. So night 2 of the Crockett Cup starts off once again with a couple of pre-show matches. The first pre-show match sees the Diamonds in the Rough, Jeremiah Plunkett and BK Westbrook, defeat the team of Dylan McKay and Sonico. A good 46 rated match and a good way to start the pre-show. In our next pre-show match, it sees Mei Saruga defeat Makoto in about 12.5 minutes with a simple dropkick. A really good 51 rated match here. Saruga getting a 54, Makoto getting a 41, yet seeming off her game. So a good way to finish the pre-show, but now we'll move on to the main show. The main show kicks off with a semi-final match in the Crockett Cup as the makeshift team of Mike Mondo and Odinson defeat Los Tranquillos in just under 9 minutes when Odinson pins Naito. A decent 44 rated match here, and it does mean that Mondo and Odinson have made it all the way to the finals of the Crockett Cup that will take place tomorrow night. So a really good run here from Mike Mondo and Odinson, all the way from the qualifying rounds to the final. We then see EC3 and Trevor Murdoch backstage. They're trying to find more weapons for their street fight tomorrow against Bojack and Marsh Rockette, with the NWA World Tag Team Championships on the line. So they're getting ready. They're ready to beat Bojack and Marsh Rockette. After this, we see Chris Brooks once again defeat a debuting Carlito. Carlito in-game has recently left the WWE. This is his first match since leaving the WWE. He was hampered by injury somewhat and he was off his game, but it is another huge win for Chris Brooks as he is a part of the main event four-way for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship tomorrow at the NWA Crockett Cup Finals. He did beat Max Caster at NWA Crockett Cup Night 1. After this, we see Weber Hatfield. He's seeing if Matt Lee has actually turned up today. He's looking all around the arena until he runs into a familiar face. That familiar face being Booker T. He's here visiting his friend Mark Henry. But Booker tells Weber Hatfield that it's important not to let people like Matt Lee get to them. He's seen plenty of people like Matt Lee before. They're just suckers. Again, he does the entire gimmick, the 5-time, all that. Can you dig it? All this sort of stuff. And then walks away, leaving Weber Hatfield slightly confused, but ready to face Matt Lee tomorrow night. After this, we see Shinsuke Nakamura earn his place in the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match tomorrow night as he defeats longtime rival Kota Ibushi. Really good 52 rated match here. They probably could have done better, but Ibushi is in poor form, so does only get 48 compared to Nakamura's 61. Again, really strong match here, and Nakamura will be going to the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match tomorrow night in the main event four-way. We then go to our second semi-final match for the Crockett Cup, as we once again see the wildcard team of Alec Price and Starboy Charlie defeat Silas Mason and Max the Impaler after Silas Mason accidentally hits Max the Impaler, or accidentally in huge quotation marks hits Max the Impaler. Again, a huge win for Alec Price and Starboy Charlie as they make their way to the final of the Crockett Cup. Again, a really good 51 rated match. Alec Price getting a 60, Max the Impaler getting a 61, Starboy getting a 50, and Silas getting a 35. Again, he is injured, so again, his performance isn't that great, but a really good match here. And we finally have our final of the Crockett Cup. It'll be Mike Mondo and Odinson against Alec Price, and Starboy Charlie. We then go to our next match and the final match, or final qualifying match for the World Heavyweight Championship match, as Ortiz does in fact defeat Keith Lee after he uses the ropes for leverage. Again, it is a huge win for Ortiz as he goes on now towards the four-way match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championships. We know who those 4 stars are going to be. It will be Bishop Dyer, Ortiz, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Chris Brooks, all competing for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. We'll then go backstage to Mark Henry. He's in his office with Bishop Dyer. He's laying out exactly what I've just explained in who Bishop Dyer will be facing tomorrow night. Bishop Dyer seems to understand, he seems to be ready, but one question he asks: who the hell is Chris Brooks? Again, we'll have to wait and see to find out if Chris Brooks can achieve the impossible, or whether or not Bishop Dyer will retain, Ortiz may walk out as champion, or Nakamura may cement his legacy in professional wrestling. We'll find out this tomorrow night, but we have one more match to get through. The NWA World Women's Championship match. In an absolutely excellent 76 rated match. I believe this might actually be our best rated match in the entire series so far. Yuka Sakazaki does in fact defeat Kenzie Page after she retrieves the NWA World Women's Championship from the top of the ladder. A really good 76 rated match here. Everything was excellent in this match. Yuka Sakazaki getting a 76 performance herself. Kenzie Page getting a 57. Again, Yuka Sakazaki is celebrating. Kenzie Page is standing across her in the ring. It looks like they're about to shake hands until the lights go out. And when the lights come back on, Masha Slamovich is stood in the middle of the ring. She lays out both Yuka Sakazaki and Kenzie Page, and she stands tall with the NWA World Women's Championship to close the show. So Masha Slamovich has finally debuted in the NWA. She has left TNA and she's coming for the NWA World Women's Championship. So the show does in fact get a 65, which I believe is one of our best shows we've actually put on. I imagine without the production issues, then it would have been probably low 70s, which obviously would have been even better. But it does increase our popularity in 38 regions, so hopefully we've reached that magical 40 mark, so we're able to put ourselves on Triller TV. So we will be praising Yuka Sakazaki, Kenzie Page and Ortiz for their excellent performances. Yuka Sakazaki's very happy, Kenzie's pleased, and Ortiz is also very happy. Thankfully, I don't think there was any injuries. No, there wasn't. But we'll look at our financial report, see how much money we made. We made $33,000 on the show, which actually takes us above $1 million finally for the NWA. We'll have a look at our popularity. We did grow quite a bit on night 1, so we've went up to 39 in these regions yesterday. But in New England, we've went up to 37. We've went up 25 in Quebec. And quite a few other areas around the world as well. But we are, like I said, 1 point away from a pay-per-view deal, which hopefully should come about quite soon. But since there's no media scrum, we're not at that point yet, I will end the episode here rather than going back to the office area. So, in the NWA Crockett Cup final, we have very many matches. We have the final of the Crockett Cup, of course, being the wildcard team of Starboy Charlie and Alec Price, taking on the makeshift team of Mike Mondo and Odinson. And we will also see the TV title on the line as Matt Lee challenges Weber Hatfield. We'll see EC3 and Trevor Murdoch challenge for the NWA World Tag Team Championships against Bojack and Marshall Kett in a street fight. And now we also know the 4 competitors that will be taking place in the main event 4-way for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, as we'll see Chris Brooks, Ortiz, Shinsuke Nakamura and Bishop Dyer all compete for Dyer's NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this episode. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. Comment any wrestlers you do want to see in this series. And I'll see you at the final night of the Crockett Cup 2026.